Today we're going to be going over some fantastic date night fragrances for spring and summer. Each of these has a little bit of a freshness to them, but with kind of a sweeter nighttime edge as well. Some a little bit of a smokiness, a little bit of a kind of a fruity sweetness, whatever it might be, to give them some of that nighttime appeal. Generally, in the evening, sun is down and the temperatures cool off a little bit, even in the summertime, and these are perfect for that. Some of these also have a slight bit of a formal aspect to them as well, which would be great for a date night out to a nice restaurant. Others of these are going to be a little bit more casual leaning for more of a, less formal date night scenario. But no matter what, all of your bases are going to be covered. Let's get things kicked off with Mansera Intense Sedra Boise. This one can go a little bit formal, in my opinion. Also could easily be casual wear too. And this could also work pretty much as an all year round, ultra versatile type of scent. But I do love this kind of fruity sweetness that this one has, which makes it great for an evening out. Obviously, being the intense version here, it's an extrait concentration. Very, very strong. If the Eau de Parfum wasn't strong enough for you, this one definitely will be. It's going to be an easy 12+ hour performer. You can usually get this one for around $90 to $100 on discounters. Very reasonably priced. That's for 120 ml. It's one of the best purchases you can make when you take everything into consideration. Versatility, performance, uniqueness, quality, and of course, price. It has all of that going on for it. Great for summer date nights, great for spring date nights, but also great for general usage as well. Definitely one that's a great one to have in your collection, no matter if you have, hundreds of fragrances or only a couple, this is worth it. This next one, we're gonna go down to the $35 range or so with Dumont Nitro Red. This one has a lot of watermelon, some watery notes, some fruits, a heavy dose of ambroxan in here. This was pretty popular last year, I believe it was, kind of last summer is when this one was really getting a lot of coverage, and kind of fitting because it is definitely a summer leaning scent. This one's going to be more on the casual end of things. Nothing about this one really smells formal or upscale or dressy, quite the opposite. So something to keep in mind. Overall, this has more of a youthful smell to it, which some people will like, others maybe not so much. But I definitely see why this one got so popular. And that watermelon accord smells amazing. It is such an underutilized note, at least to me. It's used, in this, you see melon used in things like Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct and maybe a couple other scents out there, but it's just a really unique type of fruity smell that really works well. This stuff is amazing. Again, $35 or so, maybe $40, and availability could be a little bit spotty sometimes, especially during peak season, like right now when it's warming up outside. But if you can grab a bottle of this one, it is perfect for summer date nights. All right, this next one's gonna be a little bit more of an oddball choice, but one that I definitely stand with. I love this fragrance, and it's generally looked at more of like a fall winter style scent. However, there's a bit of a brightness off the opening, and while this does have some incense and some leather, okay, a little bit of a smoky leathery accord, I still think it would be a great choice for summer evening date nights. It is Miyaki Newi Parfum. So on eBay, this is going for like $150, $200+. I think I've even seen listings for $300, which you just dismiss all of those anyway, right? Nobody's paying that. But, it's definitely gonna be a more sought after type of scent when it fully goes away. Luckily, you can get this for about $50 right now. I'll link it down below. $50 and it's a 125 ml bottle. The 50s for a tester with cap. Full presentation is somewhere around, I think, 60 maybe, 65, 70. To me, just get the tester, right? Good savings, but man, smoky, sweet, balsamic, leathery, again, with just a hint of a brightness off the opening. Nothing crazy, but it's there. If you want something unique, if you want something to stand out, if you want a great performer and you want to add something to your collection that is going to be kind of a sought-after collector piece someday, Miyaki Newi Parfum is a great one to have. Let's go for Allure M Edition Blanche by Chanel. Okay, this is a beautiful lemon, tonka, vanilla-based scent. Very similar to the original Chanel Allure Homme, which kind of uses a bunch of citrus and tonka, kind of a sweet creaminess with the freshness. The main difference though is lemon. A strong focus on lemon, which is kind of sour, kind of punchy, and that mixed with the vanilla and the tonka and the sandalwood kind of gives it a creamy gourmand type of smell. It is a delicious smelling scent. People will compare it to smelling like lemon meringue pie. It's not a bad way to put it. And so to me, this one is perfect for summer evenings. You know, you could wear it during the daytime if you wanted to. It might get a little bit sweet if it's really scorching hot and sunny out. My preference would be in the evening when the sun is down and it's cooling off a little bit. That's when this one comes in, and it's great for a date night scenario. It just has kind of that delicious type of smell to it that you might be after. This next one is Lom Lelay Parfum, of course, by Yves Saint Laurent. Usually $85 to $90 for this. And it has a wonderful ozonic, fresh, kind of ambroxan-based background. And the way I've described this one, and I think is a really simple way to put it, is it's a mixture between the original YSL Lom and then YSL Y EDP. So you kind of get that modernized, sweet, fruity smell from Y EDP, and then you get that more mature, classic, refined smell, you know, that ginger, apple, mature, kind of woody combination from the original Lom. You know, the original Lom doesn't have apple listed as a note, which I've always found to be a little bit weird, because maybe it's just me, but when I smell YSL Lom, I get this like ginger apple smell to it. I don't know, maybe they do have it, they just didn't list it, or maybe I'm just crazy. That's kind of what I get, and that's kind of what I get from this. Just essentially two completely different eras, two completely different styles and trends mixing together into one. This stuff is perfect for date nights, also could be used any time of the year as well. This next one is Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Toilette Intense. So you have quite a bit to choose from with this line. You could go for the original EDT 2017, which kind of has this paracord and some other citrus going on, and a little bit of iris. That would, honestly, that would be a pretty good choice for a date night. You could go for Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé. Could probably sneak in the regular Eau de Parfum, even Reserve Privé. Of course, about anything would work indoors in the summertime evening, right? You're inside an air-conditioned environment, so probably isn't, you know, something crazy that you really have to focus on too much. But if you do want that blend, that mixture of a bit fresh and a bit sweet, something like this one, the Eau de Toilette Intense, would be the ideal choice. Uses a lot of cypress and woods, okay? And just less sweetness than the others, basically, which is what I like about it. As far as like uniqueness and just my favorite smelling scent from the line, this is towards the bottom. You know, I like pretty much all of the others more than this. However, and I'm cautious to say that because it sounds like I'm downing the scent. Obviously, it's in this video. I selected it myself, so it's good for the topic. But I guess what I'm saying is maybe don't go into it thinking it's going to blow you away. Like for me, Reserve Privé, the original Gentleman EDP, those are, you know, stellar fragrances that I really thoroughly enjoy. You know, just kind of on a different level. This one is just not quite as unique, not quite the same level of detail. So something to keep in mind, but it so works for a summer date night. It's just kind of an easygoing one that you can't mess up. Let's go for a JPG Les Beaux. This is Paradise Garden. I love that emerald green. It is absolutely beautiful. Stellar looking bottle. You know, like I've said and like you've seen, the more you wear, the less cool the bottle looks, because all of that aesthetically pleasing coloration is of course from the liquid itself. So, you know, when you start wearing this stuff, your bottle doesn't look as cool anymore. It kind of prompts you to want to buy another one when you're halfway through, just because there's something satisfying about seeing that on your shelf. Maybe it's just me. This one, it has some mint, some kind of green notes, coconut, tonka, all of that stuff. It's fresher than the other Les Beaux. Not flower edition, but fresher than the Eau de Toilette and the Les Parfum. However, still some sweetness to be had here. So still kind of fits the theme of this video very well. But this is truly more of your traditional style summer scent, at least more so than the other two that I just mentioned. And to be fair, Lom Lelay Parfum, the original Labo, great choices for this video. Perfect for a date night out in the evening in summertime. Those and this are going to be more on the side of more casual, more playful leaning, not so much formal. Great performance out of this as well, which is nice. You know, I think it's been on sale here recently, $95 for 125 ml. Maybe worst case, you're paying 100 and, you know, upwards of 110 when it's not on sale. But right now I think it is still on sale. Might not be a bad idea to pick it up while you can, but ultimately you're not out a ton of money on this one, really. I just wouldn't go paying full retail for it. Running down to the end with Blue Noir Parfum by Narciso Rodriguez. Kind of a sweet iris meets fresh DNA. So this still has the woods and the musk that the others have, the Eau de Parfum, the original, even the Eau de Toilette Extreme. You still got that going on. The difference being you get kind of a sweet, dusty iris thrown into the mix as well, which is nice. And that's what gives this that date night appeal. Just a little bit sweet, not a ton. And also, this is going to be more of your formal style, okay? This is something that, of course, could be worn casually. You're not going to smell out of place if you wore this to a very, very casual dress-down event. People aren't going to think you're, you know, overboard. But also, this would fit right in if you are at a more kind of expensive environment, more of a dressed up type of scenario. I think this would work just fine. General pricing on this, I think, is usually around like $70 or so for 100 ml. Not the cheapest, but it's also not crazy, and it's not the most expensive in this video either. All for the most part, these are pretty reasonable, with the most expensive one being the Chanel. And we're gonna finish this video off with Polo Blue Gold Blend Eau de Parfum. If you can get a bottle of this, get it. I understand it's on and off. I've seen it recently pop up, and then it goes away again, okay? It's just kind of the luck of the draw, so to speak. I wanted to feature it. This is probably the last time that I will, though, because it's getting to that point where it's getting too tough. So no more Polo Blue Gold Blend on the channel, but rest assured, I still love how it smells, and I'll still wear it from time to time. So if you can get one, get it. It has melon, incense, and ginger, along with a ton of other notes, but those are some of the key players that I pick out and that I pick up on the most. It's obviously going to be a little bit smoky, a little bit sweet, but still has that blue freshness that you would imagine from a Polo Blue. Perfect for date nights. And if you can't find this, I would recommend Polo Blue Parfum. That would be my second go-to. It has a bit of oak in there, still a little bit woody and a tiny bit sweet, with plenty of freshness too. So either Gold Blend or Polo Blue Parfum are going to be my two options from the Polo Blue lineup. You could also go for a Polo Red and so many other things to choose from, Ralph's Club Elixir, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some fantastic date night summer scents. I will link all of these down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.